Hello folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to part 2, which sees us taking out the Innovv N1 Pro, which I've attached to my BMW R1250GS. If you want to go and have a look at part 1, click on up here. It's about a 48-minute video, but that will give you all the information you need to know about the 6-inch display from Innovv, their N1 Pro. So part 2 then, I'm going to try and keep this as short as I possibly can without boring you guys stupid. So let's just get on the bike. So part 2 then, what we're going to do is just go for a little bit of a ride, and the ride is going to be 15 minutes, so it just allows me to give you a bit more information about the 6-inch screen from Innovv. So before you go and look at part 1, just give you a very quick overview of the Innovv N1. So basically, Innovv have been around for a long time, putting a lot of stuff out on the market for motorbikes, and over recent months the market has been flooded with these kind of devices hitting the market for you, the motorcycle rider, to pop onto your motorbike wherever you may want to install it, with all the different mounts that these things come with to navigate from A to B, listen to music, podcasts, make phone calls, receive messages and all that kind of stuff. So basically, if you've got an iPhone, it allows you to use CarPlay on the screen, and if you've got an Android phone, it allows you to mirror the phone onto the screen using Android Auto. So that really is what we're talking about today. So the display unit from Innovv, it is not a standalone GPS unit, so if your phone dies, then what you've got in here dies as well. So I always just make sure I've got sufficient charge in my phone, and then you can, if you're going on a bit of a tour or something, then just make sure you've got some backup. Down here I've got a couple of USB ports, so a USB connector cable and some power banks if that's what you want to do. So just make sure if you're going on a long trip, you've got another alternative means of charging your phone on the move, because when your phone dies, everything else is going to die with it. So that's all to do about screen mirroring, CarPlay and Android Auto. And I'm not going to teach you how to use CarPlay or Android Auto, because you just got to go and play with it. So here we go then. So this is the 6-inch screen from Innovv, and they sent this down to me free of charge to review, and they also sent me the tire pressure monitoring system. Hello everybody, hello. So they sent me the tire pressure monitoring system, and as well as all the other bits and pieces that come with the kit, which you can see in part 1, they sent me their arc bracket, which allows me to attach the 6-inch display onto the navigation bar, which sits above the TFT. So everything is connected and working as it should do. Quick rundown then on the Innovv itself. There are no on-off buttons on the screen. That's it. There's no external buttons. You've just got a cover on the bottom here, quite fiddly to take it all out, as you see on part 1, and to install the SD card. So you've got a memory card on here, takes 256 gigabytes, and then there's a port that you can plug in a USB-C cable to power the unit whilst it's not on the bike, just for you to get used to how the thing works. But that's all explained in part 1. So I've got a 128 gigabyte card in there. It's all been formatted and everything, and it is pretty much ready to go. And the system comes with 1080p dash cameras. Got one on the front and then one on the rear of the bike. I've got my Cardo Pactal Edge headset on, and then I've got an iPhone 14 Pro Max in my pocket. So what we're going to do then is just go over to somewhere over there, and we just chat about the system as we go along. On my phone then, I've got Bluetooth is selected. Everything's been paired previously. Normally it takes about 20 seconds or so for the phone to connect to the display unit itself, and then if it doesn't connect right away, you can just press interconnect, and that will then take you onto the CarPlay screen. So this is the home screen then. Again, part 1 shows you all the bits and pieces, and there we go, it's connected already. That was about 20 seconds or so. So let's just go back to the home screen, and I'm just going to explain this. So on the home screen, you've got the time and date, and then you've got your tire pressure monitoring information. If you just tap on that, press that, then that will bring up the menu for the tire pressure, and you can set a low alarm and a high alarm, and I've set the high alarm at 3, low alarm at 1.9, and at the moment it's got 2.2 for the front, 2.7 bar at the rear. If we look down here, then once we get moving, you'll see that these are absolutely bang on. I've checked the BMW, the tyres on the BMW, and with a pressure gauge at home, and the pressure of the bar on here on the TFT is spot on, and the display on the N1 Pro is exactly the same as the BMW. So those tire pressure monitoring valves are really good and seem to be very accurate. So let's just go back to the home screen then, and then I'm just gonna, so that's all you need to know about the home screen. I just tap on the interconnect, that takes us to CarPlay. Very quickly then, you'll know about CarPlay. Left hand side, you've got the time, signal strength, battery charge, so it's full battery, and then the last 3 apps that you've used on CarPlay. And then bottom left, you can just go for split screen and then full screen. So split screen or full screen. So what we're going to do is just use Apple Maps, and we are going to go to a place called Corbière. So let's just tap in Corbière. I'm going to tap in Corbière actually. Let's just tap in Corbière. The screen is really good actually. So I've got these summer gloves, Rucker summer gloves with the silver bits on the top there. So I can type in Corbière. We're going to go to a lighthouse. There we go. It's very responsive, and let's just search on that. Corbière, let's go Corbière Lighthouse. Yep, so that's where we're going to go, and let's have a look. Let's go for, yeah, we'll go for that one. So everything's connected. It's talking to me. It's giving me the audio instructions in my headset, and then you've also got a display on here, a pictorial display of when to do the next turning. So just scrolling through there again, so there's the multi-screen, so that's where we are at the moment. Then you've got the top right hand box is the next thing you have to do, and then I've got music selected as well. So I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs, and even with the non-capacitance finger, you just have to press it and it still works really well. So this is one of the nicer screens I've actually come across for sensitivity wise. It's really good. What else is there to say about the screen? I think that's about it. So let's go back to that and fire the bike up. It's all good. Check behind. Yeah, so it's a glorious day today. Great day to be out on the bike. And it's talking to me already, so it's telling me to bear left onto the A2. I don't even know what this road is called. Very busy with the traffic today. Everybody's out and about. Anybody going to let me in? Don't know. Yeah, they're going to let me in. Thank you very much. Right, I'm starting to steam up a little bit. So what I'm going to say then is the 6-inch screen. I've tried loads of screens out, folks, because people do send me things to review. So I've tried, what have I tried so far? The Carpure Ride, I've tried both the 5-inch and the 7-inch. Again, check out my playlist for all the navigation systems. So I've done the 5-inch, the 7-inch, the massive 7-inch, and then I've also got the Chiggy AOI 5 Play and the Lite, and I think they're 5 inches. All the systems are really good. There's pros and cons, whichever price point you want to come in at. And in relation to the prices for this, I'm going to put the prices up there. There is a code that you can put into the main website from Innovv, and that will give you a 10% discount code. But yeah, buy it from whoever you want to buy it from. Doesn't bother me at all. So I'm just here to give you folks a bit of a review on the 6-inch screen. So I've tried all those screens out, and in fact I've got my Chiggy down here somewhere. But I have to say, 6-inch screen is the best size screen that I've tried ever. The 7-inch screen was a little bit large, shall we say, a bit in your face, but for the distance from me to the bike, the 6-inch screen is absolutely brilliant. Now there is no auto dimming feature. I believe it's 800 nits for brightness, so if you want to change the brightness on that, then you just go into settings, and there's 3 levels of manual brightness if you wanted to do that. And yeah, you can change that. Obviously only touch the screen when it's safe to do so, otherwise you're going to end up having a bit of a prang, and it's going to be all on all on the front and rear dash cams as you go falling down the road, officer. Yeah, so always just, you know, when it's safe to do so, just touch the screen. But the good thing about this 6-inch screen is that you've got a little bit more furniture for things to sit on. So even just touching the the bottom left there, just to scroll through the CarPlay screen, it's easy to do, whereas some of the smaller screens it's a little bit on the harder side. Again, just bringing up the phone menu and the music menu, it's really easy to do because you've got that bit more landscape stroke furniture, free space, etc. So it is very good. So there's a little dot here which is explained in the previous video. So if you touch that little dot, that's a bit of a quick access dot, and what that does, that allows you to, let me go, there we go, that allows you to, you can actually change the brightness of the screen if you want to, or go home, have a look at the dash cams, so you can change the brightness of the screen. There we go. It's a bit too dark for me actually. Steaming up, so let's go back to full bright. So back on full brightness then. Again, just be very careful when you're playing around with these things. You don't want to take yourself to the scene of the accident. And then what you can do, that little dot there, that's just an Innovv dot. You can go home and then go to the settings. Again, just using the glove. It's very responsive. And then you can go to, there's a brightness on there, and that's the manual brightness. So there's 3 levels of brightness: low, middle and high. There is no auto brightness on here, something that it hasn't got. And obviously you all know how to use CarPlay, but within the settings of CarPlay you can actually set it to be automatic. In automatic mode it will go dark when whatever time it comes across. It knows to turn the screen into a dark mode, or you can override that in the settings within CarPlay, and then you can have a permanent dark screen. So there are a couple of things you can do, but the screen itself has not got an auto dim function. But the 6-inch screen is absolutely lovely. Still giving me directions in my helmet here. And again, if I need to go back to CarPlay, just press the home screen button, interconnect, whatever it's called, and away you go. So let's just go back to the map. There we go. So it's nice and clear. As I said, I think the screen is 800 nits. It's a really sunny day today. Just go as we go into 20-mile-an-hour zone. Very sunny day, no problems at all. Nice clear screen, and that 6-inch screen is just very nice. It's a super screen. Oop, just go back a bit. There we go. Now it does come with dash cameras front and rear, 1080, and I would say in relation to the quality, I'm just going to superimpose some footage as we ride along. I would say in relation to the quality, you're not going to be making any Mission Impossible 5 movies with the footage. I would say at best B-roll, and that is stretching it a little bit for your videos. I would say that the quality of the video, although it's 1080, the quality of the video is such that I would only use it for evidence or for witness kind of material. There is a little bit of a downside in relation to the dash cam aspect to it, insofar as there is no app, there is no Innovv app to download onto your phone, so you cannot get footage from the unit, from the display, onto your phone via the app. What you have to do is remove the SD card located in the recess in the bottom, and that's a little bit fiddly, folks. And remove the SD card and then just download the raw footage onto a computer that way. Now the file format that it uses is a TS format. I can't remember what it stands for, something streaming, and basically to actually even use that footage you've got to convert it into either a .movie file or an MP4 file to then put it onto your video editing software if you want to incorporate it into your home holiday movie. So yeah, that's a little bit of a faff. So that would be a negative in relation to the raw file from the dash cam, but it's just a bit more time on the computer. But certainly in relation to the footage, I would say that, yeah, I wouldn't use it to make a movie. I would just use it for evidence. And B-roll, at a B-roll at a push really. But it's all these cameras are there for you if you're involved in an accident. If you're going to make stuff for a holiday, then you're using these things, aren't you? So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for using it for your primary source of footage for your biking holiday. Even in the shade and all that kind of stuff, we are bright sun, although the sun is just up there, so I'm not riding with the sun directly behind me. It's a lovely screen, it's a lovely size screen. The only negative about that is, again, mentioned in part one, is the fact that they do have a screen protector on the display, and it has scratched very easily. Obviously I guess you could just take it off if it's too bad. Folks, stop the video there. I've made a bit of a howler. We're now back in the man cave. My dogs have called me an absolute idiot, and no doubt you guys will as well. So I have realised that that screen protector that I moaned about is actually just an in-transit screen protector to protect the screen whilst it's in transit until you get out of the box, and then remove the screen protector and then put it on your bike. So I didn't realise that because it was such a close fit on there that I thought it was something that they'd put on there to be left on there at the factory until you wanted to peel it off and put a new screen protector on. Now Innovv will be hopefully doing some screen protectors as an accessory, as I mentioned in part one, and I think I mentioned it in this video as well. But please, if you can, take that temporary protective cover off, and it will reveal a very nice screen underneath. What an absolute idiot. So there we go, look, and that reveals the extremely nice clear screen underneath that, and no doubt you will be able to purchase another screen protector from Innovv when they make that an official accessory. But ignore all the comments I've made in relation to that flimsy bit of plastic which scratches very easily. What an absolute muppet, eh guys? Anyway, on with the video. Sorry. But Innovv have told me that they are looking at having screen protectors as an accessory that you can purchase, and hopefully, knowing Innovv, it'll be a really nice screen protector, tempered glass or something like that. That's what it's going to need. But yeah, there is a screen protector on there, but it does mark very easily. So that would be yeah, something that could be improved. The sun's not right behind me, it's sort of right above me and shining onto the screen, and still you can see that the screen is more than viewable. It really is. It's I do like that 6-inch screen, it's very nice. And there we can see the tyre pressure for the BMW on the TFT is 2.3 and 2.7. So if I just go home, on the home page, and then just have a look at the tyre pressures themselves, 2.2 and 2.8. So yeah, it's pretty close, pretty, yeah, it is pretty good. Another nice little party trick for this is that if you look at the dash cams end, so home screen, put the dash cam on, you've got the rear camera, you can use it as a mirror, and you just got to go in the settings and make sure the camera is flipped the right way round so that whatever's on the left appears to be on the left in here. So it's they call it the mirror, I think it's the mirror image or something. So yeah, you can just see that the number plate is just in the way, but yeah, that's how I fitted it. But that's a really handy view to have. And then if you can just swipe through, that's the forward camera, swipe again, you get two cameras, one to the rear, one to the front on the right hand side, and then swipe again and it just flips that image around. Yep, there we go. And then scroll it through again and then that's back to the rear camera. So that's a real nice view, we do like that. And just touching the screen now, that brings up the menu for all the dash cams itself, and how you can access it. So if you're involved in an incident, then you can just basically touch that button there, and that will stop the recording. When you're recording, there's a red light flashing here permanently to know that you are recording, and then that that screen just gives you access to the video files in the format that we spoke about. If something happens, you're riding along and somebody turns into the path of a bike or something, you can protect that file to stop it being overwritten by just pressing the padlock, and that just puts it into a separate folder so it will not be overwritten. So that is safe, which a lot of these devices do anyway. They allow you to do that. But yeah, that's something that the Innovv does allow you to do. And then you can just play the footage back either on here. There's no loudspeaker. There is a microphone, and you can only hear the audio when you're playing it back on your computer. But then, as we said, you've got to format it into the right format if you want to then send it on to anybody. So that is a little bit of inconvenience, but it doesn't take too long to sort it out. Really, it's just another step in the process. And there we go. We'll just go back now to the rear view camera, and then after a short while, all these icons will disappear at the bottom, and you can see the red flashing light at the top there as well. So we're nearly coming to the end of the video. Not sure how many minutes that is, but I just want to give you as much information as possible. And there we go. The icons have now disappeared from the front or from the bottom of the display. If we tap the screen, we've got the time on there as well. Maybe the time could be with being a little bit bigger, maybe. So what we can do is just press the home icon. That takes us home, and then back into CarPlay and just following the instructions. And what you can do is use Siri as well, so you don't have to touch stuff. You can use Siri to turn music on, off, for navigation, and also for phone calls as well. So if I just say, hey Siri, phone home. So there we go. So I'm just phoning home now, and I'll just hang up. There we go. I'll just end that. So you don't have to press stuff, you just use it as per the normal CarPlay. So I think that's pretty much everything covered, folks. It's a very nice system. There's certain ways it can be improved, and one of the things that I have noticed as we come to the end of the ride, I've got an Apple Mac, so I haven't got a Windows-based system. Now, when it comes to the firmware software update, I did show you in part 1 how you can update the software to the latest software. However, I was not able to do that post making the video, so I've been in contact with the technicians at Innovv, and they inform me, as we are today, middle of August, that the Apple's computers have problems updating the software on the Innovv display. So they're looking at that now, and hopefully Innovv will come up with a solution that you can be able to update the software. So, but nobody else has come up with that problem, so is it just me? I don't know, but potentially there is that issue with updating the software. But good old Innovv are on the case. They're trying to sort that out as we speak. Well, that's it, folks. My thoughts, final thoughts then, of the Innovv N1 Pro. I love the 6-inch display. I think it's amazing. Some of it's 58 varifocals. It's so easy. It scrolls very nicely. It's just a nice screen to use. I like it a lot. What I would do, if I'm going to give it a grading, then I know on part 1 I gave it a good old solid 8 out of 10. Let me just pull in here. I gave it a good old solid 8 out of 10. Now, with that firmware issue that I had, because that should have been something that should have been sorted out by Innovv, so I'm going to downgrade it to I'm going to give it a 7.5 actually. So 7.5, purely because to look at the footage, to then send it to somebody, a little bit of a faff, a couple of steps you need to do, and you can't watch it on your phone because there's no app. And also the fact that I can't update it to the latest software using an Apple computer. I think, folks, that really is about all I've got to say. So that's cool beer. That's the end of the navigation. In relation to the sensitivity of the screen, hill hold is on. Yeah, it's really nice. Just tap the minus, zooms all the way out. It's very responsive. We like that. It's nice. As you can see where I am. Can you see where I am? There we go, look. Bottom left hand corner of the island of Jersey, and we've got Guernsey over there in the distance. Glorious day with Corbier over there. And you can scroll to the left, scroll to the right, but you can't pinch zoom. You have to use the plus and the minus. One review that I saw of this, when the screen gets hot, it sort of drops its brightness. Yeah, if it's hot. I've not experienced that, but yeah, you may get that. That's it, guys. Go and check out the website. There is a discount code GSD321 for the very nice Innovv N1 Pro screen. And the differences between the N1 Pro and the N1, basically the N1 you don't get the tyre pressure monitoring system or the option for that. but you do get the option for it here. I'd always have that fitted if your bike doesn't have that. It's only about another 70 odd quid, and that's really about it. And there's no parking monitor on here either. So the N1 has the parking monitor, this one doesn't. That's it guys, comments down below. Hopefully not too boring for you, maybe a bit more than 10 or 15 minutes, but there we go. For spending about £400 for the unit, then you want to know, is it any good? I think it's really good, a solid 7.5 out of 10. As always, ride safe, and we'll see you again soon in the not too distant future. Cheerio, bye. What a glorious day. What a glorious day.